On this video, I want you guys to bear with me. I want you to try and understand exactly where I'm coming from, but I don't think you're going to be able to get there until I get to the end of this video. Hello, how you doing, guys? I hope you're all doing well. As I guess you all know, I'm very political. I'm a Conservative by heart. Not the Conservatives that are in Parliament today, to be fair. But I'm a Conservative by heart, and I definitely want to leave the EU, hence the t-shirt. So I tend to listen to, talk radio, even sometimes LBC with Nick Ferrari, even, believe it or not, sometimes with James O'Brien, if I ever really want to get annoyed about something. Yes, insanity, I know. So generally, as I go about my business, my social life, my work life, I tend to get bombarded by MPs stating that we shouldn't leave the EU and it's all this and it's all that, and James O'Brien stating that this is all to do with racism and bigots and all that sort of shit. Nick Ferrari not exactly knowing exactly where he wants to be. You've got Judy Hartley-Brewer that, to be fair, 9 times out of 10 I agree with. But what I tended to find that because I'm getting all this stuff bombarded to me, and a lot of the stuff that's coming over is that much of a bullshit, that I just get annoyed and get aggravated. So generally, as I'm driving about and seeing my customers, I'm tending to find that I'm getting aggravated just before I walk in the door to see a customer. Now you can imagine that I'm a sales manager and I need to be upbeat, I need to be positive, I need to know that the customer believes in me. And the only way that you could do that is by having a positive mental attitude when you walk through that door. Now you can't disguise that, believe it or not, because your body language says it as soon as you walk through the door. So you could have a smile on your face, but your body language is saying exactly the opposite. So I've listened to the likes of James O'Brien before, got out the car, put a smile on my face and walked in to see my customer. The customer knows me. What's wrong, mate? What's going on? I was honest on that occasion. I turned around and says, "Oh, just listen to James O'Brien." I said, "Why the hell are you going to do that?" But the reason I'm doing this video is to try and ask you guys a question. There's so much crap coming from the media. Whether you listen to radio, whether you watch the internet, whether you watch the mass media, any sort of media forum, I guess. There's so much crap coming towards you that your life tends to get, my life tends to get even more stressful. My mind works 10 to a dozen thinking about all different things that's happening in the world, and also, of course, what's happening in my family, my household, that kind of stuff. And because of that, you get more stressed. Hence, I believe a lot of people have mental illness issues, because all this crap that keeps getting thrown at us can't be good for our health. So most of the things that come to us don't actually matter. They've never really mattered. You see, the fact is that when we voted out in 2016, yes, our Parliament should have gone ahead and left the EU once the EU gave us a bad deal. I got really frustrated about that. Yes, Parliament today is not a democratic Parliament. Yes, Theresa May lied to us. Yes, the EU are corrupt, and trying to explain that to a typical Ramona is really hard. Does it really matter? No. The fact is, in the 31st of October, we should have left the EU, and one way or another, we will leave the EU. So is it worth me getting all bunched up and angry and maybe shortening my life because of the frustration I have with the political class today? No, I would suggest no. But it's not only that. In your typical working life, you have the pressures of your bosses and figures and all that kind of stuff just being thrown at you. So if you look at a typical day, say on a Monday, I have a conference call at 8:30 in the morning. My bosses, sales directors and everything else on the phone saying what's going on with this, what's going on with that. So you have the pressures first thing. Then you have to go and see the customers and try and get them to spend money. And then when they don't spend money, you need to make sure you let your boss know why they're not spending money. And when things go wrong, things happen. And this is just my life. And then of course you've got the radio buzzing in your ear and all that kind of thing. So quite recently I decided that I was going to turn off talk radio. I was going to turn off the internet side where people were talking about Brexit and Boris Johnson and the EU and all that kind of thing. And what I'm going to do is going to start making some videos, some decent videos, and also listen to some good music. And what I tended to find in the last week or so is that my results by seeing my customers has doubled. I've opened more accounts, I've managed to make more sales just by listening to music rather than listening to the likes of Talk Radio, LBC and other radio stations, or even when I would get home, look on the internet and listen to people that I follow on YouTube, getting me aggravated. So I guess my point is that what I think we should be doing as a human race, whether you are a moaner, whether you are a leaver, whether you got a high profile job, you know, all that kind of stuff, what you really need to do is switch off. Understand that what's more important is you being alive, you having a decent job and being good in your job, and more importantly having a good social life, being able to spend time with your family, all that kind of stuff. Mental illness is an overload as far as I can see, and the only way to get rid of that overload is to get rid of all the rubbish and understand what your priorities are. So yes, this is important to me, but it's not as important as to my family. So take it easy, forget about the things that you can't change, and just worry about the things that you can change.